Hey y'all, Tara May here, and I have another horror pack unboxing for you, and this is going to be the November DVD horror pack. The Blu-ray one should be on its way. I just got the tracking info on that today, so I'll be uploading that video whenever that comes in. For those of you who don't really know what the horror pack is yet, on horrorpack.com, you can go there and sign up for a subscription service. You will get either DVDs or Blu-rays, or you can choose both, as there will be different titles in the Blu-ray packs as there would be in the DVD packs, and you'll get 4 of each movie. And there are going to be horror titles, any range from, I've had some old 80s ones up to some newer indie ones, or some newer titles that are maybe, a few years old or something like that. And the titles, like I said, is a pretty good range. You get some good stuff. Sometimes you get limited edition ones. Sometimes limited edition ones may be signed. And yeah, those are typically going to be your indie films. But if that director gets big or something, then you're going to have his, autograph from way back. That'd be kind of a neat thing. And it's good for beginning collectors. People that don't have a lot of stuff. And I'm sure, if y'all get duplicates of things and stuff like that, you can work something out with other people. Or you might trade for movies or something like that. I do think they work out in the end for the most part, value-wise and stuff like that. And it is good for, beginning collections, like I said. But I have a decent-sized collection, and I still get titles that I haven't had before. So, I'll get to it. My first one, they mail them out in the boxes. The boxes usually have the white mailers in them. So the first title I got is going to be Carrie. I got the remake, the newest remake, because y'all know this has been remade before. Carrie, this is the one with Chloe Grace Moretz in it, and Julianne Moore plays her mother. The old one with Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie played her mom in that one. I'm going to say that's always probably going to be my favorite Carrie movie. This one stands out. It only added a little bit more to the story, in my opinion. It had a lot of things that were exactly the same. So it was kind of true to the old story that Stephen King wrote. Oddly enough, that when he first wrote that was his first one published. He threw that away at first, and his wife kind of salvaged it. So we kind of wound up with this great movie, in my opinion, about a girl who she's kind of bullied at school. Her mom is overly religious and very strict, and she kind of gets to a breaking point, and it has bad results. It turns out her hidden talent is telekinesis. She can kind of move things with her mind, and she freaks out at the prom. Everybody pretty much knows that it's a prom movie. And of course, the old one has John Travolta, and I believe it's Nancy Allen. PJ Souls has a small part in that one. And it's really a fantastic movie. Now, the remake with Chloe Grace Moretz, I've only seen it once, so I guess I'll have to watch it again. But they have her maybe flying a bit, and they added in the stones. If any of you have read the actual story, there was a scene that's kind of like a backflash or something, and it talked about a neighbor girl and something with a bikini that Carrie was looking at, and her mom fussed at her, and some stones, kind of came down all over the house and stuff, and it was kind of crazy. The mom freaked out. And that's part of the reason her mom is really super strict on her. She's actually afraid of Carrie because she does know that she possesses some kind of power. So anyway, the special features on this one is just going to be creating Carrie and telekinetic coffee shop surprise. So, got the remake of Carrie, not the Angela Bettis, Catherine Isabel one, but this one's probably the better remake, really. I think most people would agree on that as far as remakes go. I'm not a huge remake fan, so I'm usually not very enthusiastic to see remake titles, but I suppose if you're judging it fairly, by itself, say you've never seen the old one, it plays pretty well to the original story and stuff, and the acting's pretty good. Chloe Grace Moretz, I've been watching her in horror stuff since she was little. I do believe she was in the remake of Amityville as the little girl in that, so yeah, she's been coming up in that for a while. Plus, I think she's the one in Kick-Ass. Alright, so our next one's going to be Slither. I don't mind getting this one. I didn't have this yet, and I actually was thinking about watching this. I watched an old 80s one recently that's Italian that's called Slugs, and there was things in that I thought, you know what, I bet this movie kind of borrowed from that a little bit. That one was actually for a kind of nature attacks movie. Had some pretty graphic stuff going on. A lot of rather gory sequences and things with the slugs. And I believe that one was based on an old book, so I actually think this one kind of falls in that vein. Also, if you've seen Squirm, which is about the earthworms that they get electrocuted and go crazy. This one, for those of you who hadn't heard of it, James Gunn directed this, and I think he has some trauma dealings. Wrote that book about the Toxic Avenger, everything he learned from filmmaking. Okay, prepare yourself for this terrifying, twisted, chilling film that critics are calling the most entertaining horror movie in years. From the writer of 2004's Dawn of the Dead comes the deliciously demented story of an unnamed evil wreaking havoc on a small town. Intent on devouring all life on Earth, this dark force is infecting anyone in its path. Now it's up to local sheriff Bill Parody, Nathan Fillion, and his team to stop the spread of rampant devastation and shocking mutilation before it's too late. And it actually does have a few bonus features: deleted scenes, extended scenes, gag reel, bringing Slither's creatures to life, Slithery set tour with Nathan Fillion, a making of The Sick Minds, The Slimy Days of Slither, feature commentary with director James Gunn and actor Nathan Fillion, and more. Elizabeth Banks is apparently also in this movie. I forgot about that. And Michael Rooker, he was in The Walking Dead for a while. Hadn't watched any seasons of that actually, but Slither's a pretty good one, and I've been meaning to kind of pick that up, so I'm not really disappointed in getting that one. So let's see. Our next title, Incubus, Robert Englund, a Chad A. Beardy production. New Demon, New Nightmare. This looks like it's newer. Let's see. Incubus. Alright. Robert Englund is the super creeper. He's still got it. Looks like it also has William Forsythe and Jonathan Silverman. Jonathan Silverman, he was in some 80s films. I believe he played in one where he dressed as a chick and he called himself Roberta for something in school. Usually they do that with a chick that dresses as a boy to get ahead, but yeah. But he was in a few things. I hadn't seen him too much. Well, I think there was an independent horror I saw him in not too long ago. Some kind of office thing. It's kind of obnoxious. Yeah. Okay. Upon the discovery of a grisly murder, a team of police working the graveyard shift are terrorized by the mysterious arrival of a century-old demon, Incubus. During the gruesome and violent battle, a detective realizes the demon has returned from his past. Intent on settling a score, starring horror icon Robert Englund, Incubus is a spine-tingling fright fest where the powers of good and evil are put to the test. A cult classic. And I'm not seeing special features, so this is a bare bones film. Hopefully it's good. You know, some of those actors, it may be. You know, sometimes people spend the entire budget on the actors, though, and the writing and effects and stuff. But since I don't know this film, I can't really judge it very much on that. But I do know an incubus is usually a demon that's associated with sexual stuff, kind of like the succubus, who will lure a man in, sleep with him, and, you know, kind of suck his energy out. The incubus is a male demon that typically preys on females, so kind of interesting. We'll see how that is. Maybe I'll tweet about it. Let's see. Unrated, Flight of the Living Dead, Outbreak on a Plane. At 30,000 feet, there's nowhere to run. Yeah, guess not. Alright. So, looks like maybe another zombie flick. And that's notorious. Horror Pack does seem to love their zombie flicks. I know it's kind of popular right now, but I'm a little over newer zombie flicks for the most part. Some of them I'm a little hesitant to check out because it just seems like you fed the same story a lot, in a way, sort of. I don't know. But I do like older zombie flicks quite a bit, like 70s ones, especially Italian ones, you know. Zombie 1979 by Lucio Fucci's like my favorite. So, okay. Unholy terror is unleashed in the skies when a deadly genetically engineered virus is released on board a transatlantic flight to Paris in this heart-stopping thrill ride of terror. When a scientist on the run from the CIA manages to smuggle a contaminated body into a commercial overseas flight, the plane becomes an incubator for a quickly growing army of the undead. With a zombie invasion spreading through the cabin, only a handful of passengers remains to fight off their fellow infected travelers and land the plane before it's too late. Special features: feature commentary with director and producer, feature commentary with IGN.com editors, and an outtakes reel. So, mostly commentaries. But, you know, it might be good. Well, you never know. With some of these, you know, you take a gamble on them, you might really love it. Maybe it's got a good bit of gore or some good acting in there. So, whenever I check that out, I'll probably tweet about it. So that was the 4 I got. Flight of the Living Dead, Incubus, Slither, and the most current remake of Carrie. Something tells me this will not be the last I see in my lifetime. Chloe Grace Moretz there. And I did not have any of those titles. So, yeah, for that, you know, it was a win on that field. And hopefully I get that lucky with the Blu-ray pack. Sometimes I do have duplicate titles, or I have upgrades, which isn't so bad. And there's some movies I'm kind of like hoping to get, so yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all liked my video, and if you did, click a little thumbs up like thing for me. Okay. And you can subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. Also, I do movie reviews, book reviews, stuff like that. And if you're interested in seeing certain horror movies or something for me to review, that's fine. You can leave a comment about that. Check out my other videos. And you can follow me on Twitter, TaraMay79. That's TARAMA79. And you can talk to me on there. I usually answer questions and stuff like that. Tag me in something, that's fine. So, until next time, I hope y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see you back for the Blu-ray pack. Oh, and you know, if you're interested in Thanksgiving horror films, I did a video on that the other day, so you might want to check that out. Alright, bye-bye.